Welcome again, Alexandercast from here. I decided to come back and create another English video for my English viewers. This time I will do a video about personal story in Guild Wars 2. Personal story is a different type of quest compared to dynamic events or hard quest.
The hero of Shaymore returns. Come and see how friends and neighbors alike have turned out to welcome you home.
A party, Farron? For me? Or is this just an excuse to get your friends together and see what's in my wine cupboard?
Nonsense! Heroes are always popular. These nice people simply insisted on congratulating you and celebrating your brave victory.
And you insisted on breaking out my finest food and drink for the occasion.
You deserve no less. Still, I can't take all the credit. Your household staff was most helpful, even eager to facilitate the process. I wish my servants loved me half as much. But then, I am lovable in other ways.
And the less said about that, the better. Now wipe off that smirk. Let's go enjoy my best roast duck and brandy.
These quests, personal story quests, are story-driven quests, comparing to dynamic events or hard quests. Of course, the other quests are also story-driven, but in different way. In here we have dialogues, conversation between characters. The story is presented to us in a different manner and different way, comparing to dynamic events. In dynamic events, the story is driven by the events themselves, and in a hard quest, the story is driven by those small objectives which we are made to do to complete the specific quest. In here, the story is driven by different parts, very similar to traditional RPG games. This quest reminded me very much of Fable 1, if any of you actually played it. It feels very single player, which is unique in MMO. Because of this feature, lots of players who love single player RPG games will also find Guild Wars 2 interesting. Even, as I said before, this feels like single player experience. You still can invite your friends if you want to, and they can help you. The experience of personal story is more linear because every objective is set in specific order from the beginning. This is the way ArenaNet approach personal story for Guild Wars 2.
And lived. Watch carefully. I can only do this once. Behold! Alakazam! Alakazoom! Oh, that's not it. Alakazap? It's definitely Alaka something. Alakaboom? Everything you need?
Guild Wars 2 personal story isn't as linear as some other MMOs or RPGs. You still get choices. They aren't as detailed and important as in other MMOs like Old Republic or other BioWare products, but they are still relevant and sometimes may decide in which part of the mission will you do, or which ally will aid you in a fight.
Get your hands off me, you scum! Help! Murder! Mayhem!
And now we shall get attacked by the bandits and our friend will get kidnapped by their leader. The bandits' attack was started only because I pressed the button that I'm done with the party, that I'm leaving it. And we're about to leave the party and we got attacked. If I didn't press that button, we still be in the party and no bandit would attack. That's how personal story are driven. They are driven by your decisions, not by the time, and they will wait for you, comparing to dynamic events, which will not. Just like I showed it in the previous video when I talked about hard quest and versus dynamic events. After we defeat all the bandits, we will be put into a conversation screen in which we will speak with our servant and find out information needed to save our friend.
I heard Farron shouting. Where is he?
I saw those ruffians dragging him down the street. They're going to kill him.
Calm down. See to the other guests and make sure no one else has been harmed. I'll go after Lord Farron.
The biggest downside of personal story is that you can't concentrate only on them, because you need a certain level to progress through the story, and this level cannot be achieved only in personal story. You will still have to do some PvE or PvP to receive enough experience to advance to the level required to do another part of the personal story. Let's talk now about different aspects of personal story. Personal story changes depending on the choices you made when you were creating your character. When you create your character, you have to make 5 different choices. One is exactly the same choice to all races. One is depending on the class you playing, and 3 of those choices are depending on the race you play. The first choice you make is how you will overcome the trouble, by dignity, charm, or foresty. Next choice is different because it depends on which profession you decided to play with. And then we have those 3 choices which depends on which race you pick. Those 3 choices are which god bless you where you were a child, where you grow up, and the last one is which was your biggest regret in your life. Those choices shape your personal story. The choice where you are from will shape couple first missions of personal story. The choice I made was that I came from a noble house. That's why my friend speak very posh and we had a party on the streets of the town. But if you choose that you come from the common folks, you would celebrate the victory over centaurs in some pub instead of around the street. Everyone calls you a hero of Shemu and talks about your victory over centaurs because of the mission which happens at the beginning of the game, straight after you create your character. But let's go back to the video. As you probably noticed, I'm not playing by myself. I have a friend here. He was around and we decided to play together. He is an elementalist and I'm a ranger, but as you probably realize, I'm using sword and a warhorn for 2 reasons. I really like that combination and I wanted to unlock all the abilities available for the ranger. This personal story is for level 3, but I am level 10 and I'm still getting my ass kicked. This is because of the sidekick system, which will lower you to the level equivalent of the area. In other words, you can level up to level 80 in PvP and then decide to do your personal story, come back and do, and it still will be some challenge for you. Of course, it only lowers your stats, not your gear. Your gear still will be higher level than any level 3 could ever acquire.
I need some backup!
So now we're fighting the final boss of this personal story. After his defeat, my friend will be saved.
Gods, am I happy you are here. My time is precious. Am I pleased to see you? Though if you wanted me to leave the party, a simple "begone, freeloader" would have sufficed.
I'll make a note of that. Any idea who these hooligans were or what they wanted?
Not really. I did hear them discussing a farmhouse in Shaymore. They were going to lock me up there with the rest of their hostages.
Well, then I have more work to do. I can't save you and leave the others to rot. Bad form, you know.
Count me in. I may not be a centaur-killing berserker like you, but I can take care of myself. I'll meet you there.
Now, we only need to choose the reward, and the mission is done. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did when I was creating it. If you can, like the video and subscribe, and please leave the comment below. If you have any problems, opinions, I will read them and reply to all of them. This is the first part, I have more coming for you. I have all personal story of this character recorded, which was available in the beta. it will come to the channel through next couple of weeks. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was Alex from the Alexandercast, and see you next time in next personal story in Guild Wars 2.